I'm going to demo some of the progress which I made on Robo Framework automation. So few of the points which I'm going to cover is running all Robo Framework tests on multiple doc versions. The next one would be the sending the test suite status to the Datadog or logging that into the Datadog. And one of the requirement to log into Datadog the time required for a doc to receive upload URLs for all 24 athletes. So that I am logging. Similarly, I'm also logging the time required for open field web to show data for all 24 athletes. So all this data is now getting logged into Datadog, which I'm going to demo. So let's start with running test on multiple doc versions. So first, let me give you a glimpse of what exactly this framework does. So I have physical doc, which is connected to the host on which the Robo Framework Docker container is running. And within this Docker container, all tests are run. So few of the tests are related to the IoT API, OpenField Web API. There are tests related to doc and which is related to the status of status.json logging. Then few tests are related to OpenField Web. And once all these tests are run, the status is sent to the Slack channel. And now the status will also send to the Datadog. So that's the thing. So coming on to the first point, sending or the running all Robo Framework test onto the multiple version of the doc framework. So what this framework is doing is that it has binaries of the doc firmware version. It will first copy all the raw files, run all the tests, and send the status. So before that, it will copy the binary onto the doc. First, it will copy the binary of 750, install it on the doc, and run all tests. And in second pass, it will copy the binary of 751, install it, and run the same test. So it's iterating the same test on various versions of firmware version of doc. So next quarter, if we release 7.6, the same test can be done onto the 7.6 version. So to show you this, so this is the command which runs all the tests on Robo Framework, and I'm passing doc firmware version as a parameter, as a variable. So first I'm passing 750 as a variable, and in second pass I'm passing 751. So this particular variable is captured in a test, and these are the binaries which I have in my project, which is like doc firmware version. And these, according to this particular variable, the particular binary is copied onto the doc. The tests are the installation is carried out using this particular sh file. So that's how it was. And once the installation of the doc firmware is done, the tests are run. So that's how it goes. So first it will run test on 750 and next on 751. And going forward, yes, 7.6. Yes, I can just copy the same thing for 7.6. So that's the first thing. The next one is logging the test status of Robo Framework in a Datadog. So this Robo Framework at end create a report which is in HTML format, and it also create XML, which is JUnit report XML. So Datadog CLI has a ability to ingest this JUnit report into the Datadog. So JUnit report.xml looks like that, looks like this, like it has all test suite information, what are the test cases are there, pass and fail status, all the properties and various messages, and this XML can be ingested into Datadog, and all the statuses can be seen in Datadog. So to show you, in Datadog we have CI option in that test run. If I go into that, all the test cases status can be run. So today I ran all these test cases, so which can be the status of which can be seen here. If I uh, filtered with the fail statuses, so you can see the failure reason inside this, like this particular test failed because on web within 15 minutes activity is not shown. So all this information is available in Datadog for consumption. So this is the second part. The third one is related. There is one requirement which says log a time required for a doc to receive all upload URLs. Similarly, the second requirement was to log a time in Datadog for a web to all athletes data information. So as I mentioned, I mean, by default, Robo Framework generate only XML and HTML file. So to fulfill this particular request, I created a small logger, and it will create app.log, and in app.log I am logging all this time which can be sent to the Datadog. So now the app.log is created, and then what I'm doing is that I have a separate Datadog agent container. I'm configuring this agent container, and this agent container will read the app.log from Robo framework and send that to the Datadog. So to show that in Datadog, so in Datadog filter with this service, E2E automation service, and if I filter with seconds taken, it will show all the time which we want to send. So say for example, this is the time which is required for a doc to receive upload URLs for all 24 athletes. I'm also logging it as a event attribute, which can be useful for filtering purposes. Similarly, I'm logging it for various pages of OpenField Web. For setting page this much amount of time to show all 24 athletes information, and same for reporting page, so which I am logging. Showing this, I have these Datadog agent configuration. I'm passing this configuration into the agent container at the beginning of or at the start of run. And then the Datadog agent picks up the app.log information and send it to the Datadog. So that's it on demo part. The last point I want to cover is the advantage which this particular automation is giving. Is first one is the shorter testing cycle. I remember Farzad and Shu used to give me the staging build on Monday, and we used to release it on Wednesday. So I used to take like 1.5 to 2 days for testing when I used to test manually. But because of this, the testing cycle is or release cycle is quite shortened. Within 1 day, we can now release. That's the first thing. The other one is finding or identifying the bug across component. We have doc, we have Decker, we have web. So there are so many components which act together. So if there is any sort of problem in any of the component, that can be identified using this, as this is the end-to-end automation. So recently I remember there is a some problem in, I think, processing some Baker, which is identified by this and then reported. So then quick sanity test, yeah, I covered that in shorter testing cycles. So sanity test is like taking less time using this. So the future plan is to run test in pipeline, or at least to have a dedicated automation setup in Office. As I'm using a physical doc, there are some constraints. So that is the one. And currently this automation tests are by default run in IoT staging or on alpha. The plan is to run them in all regions or prod environments. So that's the future plan. So that's it from me. Any question or comment on this?